My name is Jameel Rawls, and I am a research consultant, independent scholar, entertainer, and on top of that, I work as a channeler, a psychic. And this is a long line of videos I'm producing by myself um, for the public and for some of the corporations interested in entertainers with channeling abilities. And one of the things I've been looking into through channeling is organized stalking or contract stalking. So that's the first subject I'm going to start with. The type of channeling I do, I don't have to go into a meditative state like you see many channelers do, such as Daryl Anka, Rob Gauthier, Wendy Kennedy, Brad Johnson, which are all marvelous channelers, and I've applauded their work over the years. But the sort of channeling I do comes as what you'd perceive as intermissions. It's been explained in one way as downloads. And I'll just take my hand and go like this and gather information. And it just comes in etherically. Everything is connected through electromagnetic energy. There's no separation between me or the moon, or me in another parallel dimension, or me and some sort of, I'd say, some sort of concept. Concept isn't the right word, some sort of form of thought. For instance, you can say philosophy, and philosophy is as ancient Greeks. Manly P. Hall explained it as philosophy is like a living force of truth, and you can gather energy from it. Anyhow, through channeling, I have discovered the existence of what you would know as interdimensional beings known as the reptilian race, and there's many different forms of reptilians. And so I've tried myself communicating with the reptilians through meditation, and I take my hand and I go like this. Usually my left hand, but in this instance my right hand because I'm holding the camera with my left hand. And one of the things I got from contract stalking, I learned that this is going on around the planet, and there's a race of beings involved with time travel, and they come and go, and they're involved with this type of activity, and there's some sort of planetary ritual going on, and there's some sort of substance being gathered from the exclusion of painted individuals. There's some sort of etheric substance gathered on a large scale, like what Michael Tessarian talked about in his work called the macrobes, and the energy is taken up that is of negative energy. And at this time also I give permission to the corporations, the companies, my subscribers, my fans, if they know information about people who gone out of their way to destroy my reputation through the media, or they've had some sort of hidden agenda, I give people permission to take action against them in any way they feel is necessary. So anyhow, so the energy that comes out of the planet that is of negative origins, there's beings that extract the energy and feed off of it, like a demonic entity. And so, not all of the reptilians are involved in that. There's many other beings that are not reptilian that are involved in this type of activity. And so, reptilian entities are just like people. You know, they have different agendas, different things they do. Anyhow, so there's a planetary ritual, and there's a planetary consciousness. Like, for instance, like I educate on the People's Temple Jonestown massacre often, and that affected the planetary consciousness when that happened. A school shooting affects the planetary consciousness. Something marvelous and wonderful that happens affects the planetary consciousness. And there's selfless people who don't have very many accomplishments, who work in corporations and banking and involved with secret organizations, who don't feel like they have anything that's worthwhile. They're not real people, so they have to diminish the public's perception of the planet. They have to diminish people's feelings of themselves and others around them, so they themselves can try to feel like they're important when they're really not important. You know, they're not worth anything. And that's one of the things I got from channeling the reptilians, learning about this planetary ritual that's been going on. And so this is a long series of channelings that I'm doing.